Thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. My name is Jeremy Newman, Policy Director for the Texas Homeschool Coalition. You guys probably know THSC is the premier organization in Austin especially that works on behalf of family rights to protect the right of families to raise their children. And during the 2019 legislative session, legislation was presented that would have solved what we now see as a crisis of family rights in Texas. And if you look just in the last 30 days, 3 different major cases in Texas have demonstrated this. On October 7th, the Texas Supreme Court stepped in and stopped an order from a lower court that was granting custody of a 4-year-old daughter to a non-relative of that daughter over the objections of a father who all parties in the case agreed was a fit father. We presented legislation in the 2019 session that would have addressed exactly that type of issue. Instead, it was ignored. It wasn't represented, it wasn't prioritized by the legislature at large. And as a result, we see these cases continuing. And on October 22nd, in the James Younger case, as virtually everybody knows now, a jury in Dallas decided that a father was going to be denied the ability to make medical decisions for his child, to have sole conservatorship of his child on the basis that he wanted to prevent his 7-year-old son from being emotionally, socially, and eventually physically transitioned from a boy into a girl. And legislation was presented during the 2019 session that would have addressed exactly that issue. It was not prioritized by the legislature at large, and as a result, we see ourselves in this continuing crisis. And eventually, basically the entire nation responded to that issue, and as a result, the trial court judge in that case finally came out and gave joint conservatorship and joint decision-making power to the father and the mother in that case, so that the father is able to protect his 7-year-old son. And it's interesting that that case in particular went across political lines. You have people from the right, people from the left, calling on that situation as basically a form of child abuse. In fact, even our Texas Attorney General came out and used exactly those words. And in fact, the Texas Attorney General tied that case in his letter to the third big case that came out in the last 30 days, which is the Pardo case that's kind of captured the attention of the state over the last several months, where you had a child, another 4-year-old child, who in that situation was illegally removed by CPS, and this has been a statewide discussion for the last 4 months as a result of that. And just a few days ago, the Texas Supreme Court stepped in and verified that yes, the removal was in fact illegal, and sent it back to the trial court and told them that they had to send the child home immediately. That case is ongoing, but again, legislation was presented in 2019 that would have addressed exactly the issues that came up in that case. And in all 3 of these cases, that's the common theme, that there was legislation presented that would have solved these issues. They weren't unknown issues, they're not brand new issues, we've known they're around, and we came in 2019 to solve them, and they weren't solved. Despite the fact that there were bill authors out there who worked hard in favor of those bills, the body at large did not prioritize them. And so we find ourselves back here in this place of crisis where we can't afford to wait until 2021 to be able to defend the rights of families to raise their children. We need to step in now and call a special session and address these issues that not just us now, the entire state and the entire country has recognized that these issues are in crisis, and the governor can step in and address them. Thank you.